we actually set out to service what we call the unserved or the underserved segment. So that was the genesis of Shubham.
I'm proud to say that we were one of the first affordable housing finance companies.
We wanted to do something which has a social impact. At the same time, we wanted to be a commercial success.
The day we shook hands with Premji Invest was also the day demonetization was announced.
Hey, you don't want me to be kind. I can be critical. When we started this company, people used to actually say, "Do you mean I can get a loan?" I think Premji Invest has been our force multiplier.
And we crossed 5,000 crores. Now onward to 20,000.
Yes.
That's the journey ahead.
I'm Kaustubh Zaveri, your host for the day. Joining me today are Sanjay and Rupa, pioneers of the affordable housing finance industry and co-founders of Shubham. Sanjay and Rupa spent more than 2 decades in the Indian banking industry before starting out an affordable housing business in Shubham back in 2010. Great to have you both here, Sanjay and Rupa.
Thank you, Kaustubh.
So, setting the context for our viewers today, take us right back to the beginning. Even today, the affordable housing finance market is a extremely underserved market and is ridden with operational challenges, right? What inspired you back in the day, 15 years back, to set up a business focused on affordable housing finance?
Well, it was not as fashionable as it is now, but like you said, we've been in the industry in banking for 20 years, and what we realized is that in urban areas, there are a lot of families who have income, who have steady income, they cannot evidence it with a piece of paper. We realized that's a huge opportunity. We actually set out to service what we call the unserved or the underserved segment. So that was the genesis of Shubham. We wanted to do something which has a social impact. At the same time, we wanted to be a commercial success.
Talk us through those initial first 5-7 years of Shubham. What were the key milestones that you set for yourself and how did the journey pan out?
When we started, we were one of the earliest companies. There were, just 3-4 companies who had started this. At that time, the question was, can we assess income? Of course, how to create mortgage is well understood because that's laid down law or procedure. We have moved from that. Today, a lot of people have figured out how to assess income based on personal discussions, not based on paper, not based on credit scoring. All of that has already happened. In the last 10 years, when Shubham was given the HFC license, we were the 48th company. And then today we have more than 100 companies in the field. Things have changed. We've gone through a situation where we were just trying to figure out how to make this happen. When we started this company, people used to actually say, "Do you mean I can get a loan?" Today that awareness is there, thanks to the government efforts, thanks to the subsidies, all of that. So a lot has happened there.
I think back in 2015, we also set ourselves the mission 500 to 5,000.
Yes.
We wanted to, set off on a journey to take our AUM from 500 crores to 5,000. Apart from that, we also, started our technology journey. We upgraded our LOS. That was around the same time that we brought in some industry seniors and built a CXO team. We built our internal team of civil engineers, lawyers, fraud control specialists, and really sharpened our, risk management framework. And yes, that's a lot of the journey in the last, 10 years. And we crossed 5,000 crores. Now onward to 20,000.
Yes.
That's the journey ahead.
What are some of the learnings that you've digested over the last 15 years of running Shubham, scaling Shubham? And as you look forward into the horizon towards an IPO and towards building this as an enduring institution, what are some of those learnings which will stay with you?
And we were very cognizant of not, bringing in too many preconceived notions on negative profiles or negative areas. So we started with a pretty open mind in terms of lending to this segment across geographies, across occupations. And the only two fundamental principles that we kept in mind was to avoid geographic concentration of any kind and we didn't want to stack on the under construction risk. So our customers were end users buying ready properties which they intended to occupy. It always made sense to lend to this segment. I think one of the main learnings, although it sounds like a cliche, is that any kind of aggressive growth journey should be on a solid bedrock of compliance, controls, and overall good governance. That is something we have always focused on, never compromised, and stands us in good stead even today. I'm proud to say that we were one of the first affordable housing finance companies to implement all these fintech solutions like Karza, Perfios, Hunter, the bank account aggregator, e-loan agreement. We have a very high penetration in terms of digital collections.
In fact, we are the first FinOne Neo installation of Nucleus.
Yes, back then in 2015. And of course, today we have a completely 100% digital, cashless, paperless customer onboarding process. It's very important to invest in collections, invest in risk management frameworks, and invest in best-in-class technology as early in the journey as possible. That is a lesson that we continue to carry forward as we, continue to enhance our technology suite. And while we talk a lot about technology, technology is a great enabler in this business. But the business we are in is definitely the biggest asset, will continue to be human capital for the foreseeable future. So we have considerably augmented not only the leadership team but the entire organization, and will continue to do more of that. Technology is something that looking into the future as we get ready for an IPO, that's one of our key focus areas. And of course, we are also continuing to, we have built a very strong management team. We continue to augment it.
We are moving towards fairly high profitability. We are tapping operating leverage. We believe at this rate, 12, 18 months out, we can meet and beat the estimates that the market has and do a very successful IPO. Yeah, we're building an institution.
We are building an institution.
So we hope to leave an enduring legacy. Sounds grandiose, but that's what we want to do.
No, absolutely. Sounds very exciting. And having been part of some of these discussions, definitely great to see the milestones that we're achieving every year. One thing I'd like to cover, and our viewers would also be interested to know, if you could just talk about some of the endeavors and achievements in that direction, and what we intend to do going forward.
We have been in the top 10 of the Fortune 10 list worldwide for making an impact, companies that making impact. We were in that list along with huge giants, people who are maybe 1,000, 100,000 times bigger than we are. Very proud of it. So I guess, we have been making a social impact and it's being noticed. So there was an initiative in 2017, which is where a whole bunch of CEOs were invited by Niti Aayog for a session with the Prime Minister to give ideas of what can be done in various sectors. This was called Champions of Change. It's an ongoing initiative of Niti Aayog, but to kickstart it, we were one of the companies, and I was one of the people who actually participated once again over there with the giants of the Indian industry.
Let's change gears a little bit and talk about fundraising. Fundraising is one of the critical success factors in an NBFC industry, right? It's one of the fuels of the business. So talk to us a little bit about that journey. What were how the experience has been, what you sought in partners, and how that has panned out for you.
I think I could safely say we're fairly experienced people when it comes to attracting PE money or doing a fundraise. The journey has been very interesting. Every investor is different, but we've been very lucky that we got a bunch of investors over a period of time at different stages of our company who continued to believe and support us in what was our mission, which is serving the underserved. They have been of different sizes. Some of them have been very large, like Premji Invest. Some of them, the early fundraise was from PE funds, which were much, much smaller. But yeah, we've been lucky.
Let's talk about the partnership with Premji Invest. Talk to us a little bit about the story when Premji Invest came in, and tell us a little bit about behind the scenes moments there.
So Costa, we've done series A, B, C, D, E, F. We started in 2010 with a very small fundraise. In fact, we didn't even have money for capital adequacy. So we needed that to have enough for capital adequacy to get our registration. Then we had another fundraise in 2012, 2014, 2018, 2022, and the last one in 2024. We met Premji Invest for the first time in 2012, which is Series B. We were told we are interested in this segment. I think you're onto a good thing, but you're very small. We are a larger fund and we need a bigger ticket size. Series C, we came back, well, good work guys, but you're still a little small. Series D is when Premji Invest actually invested. So I think what I would appreciate is the fact that they did monitor us, we kept talking to them, and over a period of 3, 4, 5 years, they stayed engaged. And ultimately, they became our largest shareholder. They took a stake of 40% plus, and so much so that they gave exit to two of our earliest investors. And since then, they have been a large shareholder. To date, they are the largest shareholder. And
I think they have also always demonstrated a very keen understanding of this affordable housing space. It's very important to have partners who understand the nuances of the business, because it is a complex business. It's not easy, it's not for the faint-hearted. And you really need a partner who understands the challenges and guides you in the right direction.
Great. So it's been almost a 13-year journey with Premji Invest already, and maybe many more years to come. So apart from working with the team, what impact has Premji Invest being as an investor? What has that had as an impact on Shubham?
I think just prior to our Series D fundraise conclusion was demonetization.
in fact, we shook hands with Premji Invest the day the demon
Was announced. No?
Yeah, announced.
So the fact that they, actually participated in that round and continued their engagement with us, just speaks volumes of their, understanding of how such an event actually impacts the borrowers in our segment. And they still had that faith and belief in the company's, vision and mission. Not only did we tide through that difficult phase, we remained profitable throughout, and we really value the support of our investors, and especially Premji being our largest investor back then.
Yeah, Premji investors kept us focused very clearly.
Shortly after Premji invested in us, I think a category shift happened in our credit rating as well.
It did.
That was absolutely shortly after. So the impact was very, very evident.
A commendable journey. Kudos to you both for pulling through the last decade with so many crises coming, and the company performing the way it has done. And looks like a great partnership with Premji Invest. Thank you for the kind words as well. Tell us a couple of things, both of you, which people say about the job which are not really true.
Which are not really true.
He wants us to bust some myths.
Okay. Well, not about the job, but about the industry per se, or about the company. People think that lending businesses are about giving out money. They're not. They're in equal measure businesses that have to collect. More importantly, people believe that all customers will beat a path down to the door of the lender with the lowest interest rate. That's not true.
Tell us one thing about your job that surprises people.
Well, there are a bunch of things that surprise people, but one of the things is that when people understand the real scale of Shubham, 4,000 employees, 170 branches, 13 states, 130 odd cities, people do a double take. They don't really realize, because Rupa and I both like to fly under the radar. We are not very loud about these things. So when people
Definitely surprises people is that we are not flamboyant as promoters. That's something we find people expect.
Tell us a little bit about your favorite leadership books, right? What's on your bookshelf?
I liked Shoe Dog, very recently read. It's the Nike story. It's a memoir by the founder of Nike.
What's a one-line advice that you would give to startup founders today, having lived the journey for 15 years and so successfully?
don't do experiments on a large scale. Test and then scale up.
Fantastic. And Sanjay, one liner from you.
Don't sell the farm.
Trust but verify.
We hope you had a good time and all the best for milestones ahead.